on alert out west right now for fast rising water. Hundreds already rescued. Now the powerful storm is moving east as the middle of the country faces a wild winter warm-up. People paddleboarding in Chicago in February. Record-setting temperatures moving in.
Immigration crackdown. The Trump administration issues sweeping new rules. 11 million undocumented immigrants at risk of deportation. The White House says it's just enforcing the law.
Is one of the goals here mass deportation?
No. But protests are already erupting across the country.
The new video of Harrison Ford's terrifying close call. What surveillance cameras show really happened. The actor seen flying dangerously close to that American Airlines plane, packed with passengers, before landing on the wrong taxiway. The FAA now investigating.
And going for gold, one-on-one with Oscar host Jimmy Kimmel. How he's preparing for Hollywood's biggest night.
My blood pressure is through the roof.
The past Oscar hosts who inspire him. What he's saying about a Meryl Streep surprise. And Matt Damon. Plus the 4 things you will not see happening on that Oscar stage. Revealed right here only on GMA.
No one does Oscar like GMA. And if they say they do, they're lying.
I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Welcome to Wednesday, just 4 days away from the Oscars. And you said 4 things we're not going to see?
Yes, but we will reveal here this morning. And you know, Jimmy Kimmel, he did such a great job hosting the Emmys this year when he walked out on stage like this. His first time ever, though, hosting the Oscars. And he's looking to a lot of people for inspiration, including his own mom.
Nobody more inspiring than your mom.
That's it.
You know how that goes. And we're looking forward to that exclusive. But first, let's get to that extreme weather that's around the country. Record flooding in California and record-breaking heat across much of the country. And the only person I know who can handle all that is tracking it all, Ginger Z. Good morning, Ginger.
Thank you, Michael. I just need flames like Jimmy. But really, it's flames that have been hitting much of the United States. Historic, widespread warmth. You can see from New Mexico all the way to New York, more than 500 record highs have been broken in just the past week. And it's not over yet. We're in the grips of this warmth. You can see Minneapolis will get to close to 57. They've hit 60 plus twice this February. That is the first time ever in recorded history. And the warmth stays with the east all the way through the end of the week. Cincinnati 71, 64 NYC, and Boston at 61. We've got to get to my teammate, Rob Marciano, who's in a place that has been breaking records all week. Rob, in Chicago.
Good morning, Ginger. No heavy coat required here along the lakefront. People are jogging in shorts and T-shirts. Got into the 60s again today. We'll easily do that tomorrow. Normal high is 37 degrees. This should be the dead of winter. That's what it was a year ago, the same week. Take a look. It had heavy snow on the south side of town. They felt winter like it should be. But the last few days, people have been on the lakeshore here paddle boarding. They've been playing beach volleyball, shirtless, really enjoying this sort of weather. Today, after the fog burns off, we expect to see temperatures get maybe over 70 degrees. And yeah, I mean, we're going to see more warm episodes like this as our climate continues to warm. A lot of people would say that's a positive byproduct, but come July and August, if we're in the 90s, maybe not so much as we're sweating. Michael, back up to you.
All right, thank you, Rob. And then now let's go to Neil Karlinski in San Jose, where they've evacuated hundreds of people from the flooding. Good morning, Neil.
Michael, good morning. Just imagine if this was the main street into your neighborhood. To give you a sense of how deep it is, take a look at some of the cars parked along there. It was quite a scene as they were pulling people out of here yesterday. Take a look at some of these video of rescue officials on boats taking out entire families, even babies. More than 200 people had to be rescued from here. Making matters worse, the water is heavily polluted with sewage and chemicals. All of this, the direct result, they say, of runoff from a nearby reservoir. In fact, much of the rivers and reservoirs across Northern California are at their tipping point. They've had just so much water from so many storms. Fortunately, it is now beginning to ease off. It's not raining. The forecast is looking a little bit better. The water is actually starting to recede here just a little bit, but it'll still be days before people get back in here, Michael.
Well, we hope they have a fast recovery. All right, thank you, Neil. And let's go back to Ginger for more on the western storm that is moving east. And Ginger's bringing severe weather with it.
It has a whole lot coming with it. Snow, severe weather, but the snow in the Sierra is something we didn't even get to see. We saw the pictures of the water. That is Interstate 80, a pileup that has happened many times this winter already. The roads are really suffering in parts of California thanks to all that moisture. But as Neil said, things are starting to wind down. We'll see those flood watches expire throughout today and early tomorrow. But the winter storm watch that goes from Wyoming up through Wisconsin, that's where we turn our attention now. You see right there, Minneapolis, by Friday morning, heavy snow flying. We're talking 6+ inches in some spots. And then that severe weather. You have that strong temperature gradient, very cold, very warm. You could have severe weather in parts of Indiana and Ohio. Much more to come on that, Michael. And Robin, back to you.
In other words, stay tuned.
Exactly.
All right. Now to President Trump's crackdown on people in the U.S. illegally. The administration issuing new guidelines on enforcing the law as they prepare to reveal a new version of the travel ban. Already getting reaction. Someone hanging this banner at the Statue of Liberty. Let's go to ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega. Good morning, Cecilia.
Robin, good morning to you. The White House this morning trying to ease fears, saying these new immigration rules will not lead to mass deportations. But for many immigrants and their families, those words come too little too late. In states along the U.S.-Mexico border, swift reaction to the Trump administration's sweeping new rules on immigration. From Albuquerque to Oakland.
It's just victimizing part of our community.
Some immigrants in fear. And this undocumented mother in Los Angeles in tears, preparing her daughters in case she and her husband are deported.
They have to stay here, they have to live here, and they don't have to be for us.
The new rules issued by the Department of Homeland Security put the majority of the country's 11 million undocumented immigrants at risk of deportation. Immigration and Border Patrol agents ordered to deport anyone convicted of any criminal offense. Under President Obama, the target was serious criminals. Now, people charged but not convicted could be targeted too, as well as anyone an immigration officer deems a risk to public safety. The White House telling us this is about enforcing laws already on the books.
Is one of the goals here mass deportation?
No.
Is the White House's message today to undocumented people in this country whose only crime is being in this country illegally, don't worry, or you're on notice?
The message from this White House and from the DHS is that those people who are in this country and pose a threat to our public safety or have committed a crime will be the first to go, and we will be aggressively making sure that that occurs.
But what about the others who aren't? They're watching this fearful right now.
Cecilia, the president has said multiple times that we've got to look at this issue on a very, very holistic way.
It is a promise Donald Trump campaigned on.
We will end illegal immigration, deport every last criminal alien.
Supporters cheering the move. The Republican chairman of the House Judiciary Committee saying the plan takes the actions needed to help end the surge of illegal immigration at the southwest border. But this morning, opponents say the president has gone too far.
It's outrageous. It's extreme. This is not the kind of policy we want.
A lot of reaction coming in. Now, these new rules do not affect the more than 750,000 people who came to this country illegally as children. They are known as dreamers. The White House for them says this is not a done deal, Robin. They say the issue of dreamers is not yet settled.
Yeah, many wondering about that. As you know, Cecilia, the Secretary of State and the head of Homeland Security are both headed to Mexico this week for talks with the Mexican president, and they have much to discuss.
Yeah, they certainly do. A big agenda, Robin, and the president will meet with Tillerson here at the White House before he takes off later today. Certainly on that agenda with Mexico, these new immigration rules. Of course, they're expected to talk about border security and likely trade, Robin.
All right, Cecilia, thank you. George?
Thank you, Robin. Let's talk more about this now with our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, and our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz. Martha, let me begin with you. This is not great timing to have these deportation orders come just as General Kelly and Secretary Tillerson going down to Mexico. They're going to resist, of course, paying for the wall and taking in a lot of these deportees from other countries.
It's going to be very, very difficult negotiations, George. We've already heard the Mexican government say, no way, they're paying for the wall and taking in new people. It's going to be a very, very difficult task. And as you said, the timing really couldn't be worse.
Here at home, Dan, the administration on much sounder legal ground than they were with that travel ban.
Right. Two totally different things. When it came to this executive order, the travel ban, the question was, is it legal? Is it constitutional? And the courts have now weighed in, and that's still being worked its way through, and there'll probably be a new executive order, et cetera. This is about enforcement of the current laws and how those current laws are going to be enforced. And so the question here becomes less about what do the policies say and more about how are they executed? What do they do in trying to do that?
And a real question, whether local police departments and cities are actually going to cooperate with this new enforcement.
Well, that's right, because there are going to be some cities which are going to say, if the administration insists on a major crackdown, which it sounds like they're kind of saying, but then kind of not saying.
They want to have the ability to do it.
Right, right. I mean, the policy is very broad, and then when Sean Spicer speaks, he actually says, no, well, it's actually very limited. But what'll happen in some of these cities is the local police or the officials there will say, yeah, if this is going to be widespread crackdown, we're not going to be involved. What's the remedy for that? Potentially withholding federal funds, but they can do that.
But meaning the feds also have to come up with the money to pay for all these new border agents.
Well, we're talking about, what, 10,000 plus new agents. There's going to have to be and judges, by the way, too, not just agents, but judges as well, detention centers, et cetera. So there's going to have to be funding for all of this coming from somewhere.
Martha, on another front, the administration, the president gave his defense team 30 days to come up with a new strategy on ISIS that hits by the end of the weekend, Monday or Tuesday.
By Monday or Tuesday. And I think what they have to determine is what exactly can they do? Do they add more American troops, particularly in Syria? And the thing that I will be looking for is rules of engagement. Do they change the rules of engagement? That means basically when you can shoot somebody.
And being more aggressive.
Being more aggressive. And there have been some complaints over the years that the rules of engagement are too tight, that they take civilians into account too much. Certainly Americans do not want to kill civilians, but there are some who feel those rules of engagement hold them back.
And now when you think about this fight against ISIS, you've got three top generals, General Mattis, General Kelly, General McMaster, the new National Security Advisor, all in this position now. They've worked with each other far more than they worked with anyone else in the administration.
They really have, and maybe not side by side, but all of those men have been in combat. All of those men have led troops in combat. There is no greater bond between people than to be in battle together. They've trained together. They think alike in big ways. They've studied together. They're going to approach this as a team.
Real power block inside the administration. Martha, Dan, thanks very much. Hey, Robin.
All right, George. Now to a major arrest in Missouri. A man accused of plotting a President's Day terror attack is now facing charges. And our senior justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, is in Washington with all those details for us. Good morning, Pierre.
Good morning, Robin. According to the FBI, the suspect was hoping for mass homicide on a holiday, specifically just 2 days ago, a nightmare scenario to terrorize President's Day.
The FBI claims Robert Hester Jr. is a would-be terrorist planning a bombing spree on a scale he believed was 10 times bigger than the Boston Marathon attack. The alleged mission of a U.S. citizen with a brief stint in the U.S. Army, a President's Day terror massacre targeting buses, trains, and a train station in Kansas City. But it was all a sting. The FBI locked in on Hester after he allegedly began posting ISIS propaganda and declarations of jihad on social media using a number of aliases, including Jannad Muhammad.
He opened himself up to being contacted, was very anxious to be recognized, and kind of walked right into this trap that was set for him by the FBI.
Hester allegedly bought copper wires, batteries, and roofing nails for pipe bombs and was shown 3 AK-47 assault rifles and 2 handguns. When an FBI undercover agent posing as an ISIS terrorist said the bloody plot was, quote, going to bring them to their knees, Hester allegedly responded, "I can't wait. I can't wait."
The FBI undercover operatives appear to initiate most of the planning for the attack, but prosecutors say Hester was all in, that he was given a chance to walk away, but he allegedly said, quote, "I'm down, Robin."
Oh, my goodness. All right, Pierre. And the FBI is reminding people that we have to watch out for everyone and to stay vigilant.
That's right, Robin. FBI officials went out of their way to say these radicals could be anyone.
All right. Thank you, Pierre.
Okay, Robin, we have new details now on that plane crash that killed 4 American tourists in Australia. Their plane slammed into a shopping mall just seconds after takeoff. ABC's Lindsay Janis here with more on what went wrong. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, George. Among the American tourists on board, a prominent lawyer, an ex-FBI agent, and a former CEO on a vacation of a lifetime. And this morning, we're learning the trouble on their small plane was so bad, they apparently didn't have a chance.
Overnight, new information about that small charter plane and what caused it to slam into an Australian mall. Investigators confirming the pilot issued a distress call moments before impact.
My understanding is that he didn't refer to the specific nature of the emergency, had he declared the Mayday and said that word a number of times.
The aircraft suffering from catastrophic engine failure after being airborne for only 20 seconds.
Receiving multiple calls, appears that this may be a plane crash, reports a single propeller plane.
The plane's last moment of flight are seen from this vehicle's dash cam. And then
possible explosion and flames in the building, also reported to be debris onto the freeway.
It was just huge. Like, it was the biggest flame I've ever seen, and then there was just black smoke everywhere.
Good Samaritans rushing toward the fire, hoping to rescue those on board.
We got as close as we could, and the fireball that was there, there's nothing we can do.
All 5 souls on the plane, including the pilot, dying in the fiery crash. The 4 American passengers on board had been heading out for an island golf trip.
My heart is broken. That's how both my sister and I feel. He was our big brother. He was just someone that you could always count on.
One of the Americans on board posted on Facebook just days before the crash expressing his nervousness on flying on those small planes. George.
Okay, Lindsay, thanks very much. Let's go to Amy now with more of today's other top stories. We've got more on this killing of the North Korean dictator's brother.
That's right. We are following several developments as police in Malaysia now investigate the airport assassination of Kim Jong-nam, the half-brother of dictator Kim Jong-un. Authorities are searching for 2 more suspects, including a North Korean embassy official in Malaysia. Meanwhile, North Korea is demanding that 2 women who have been accused of carrying out that poisoning be released from custody. They claim the women thought it was a prank for a TV show, but police say the women were secret agents who wiped a toxic liquid on his face. Back here at home, another major airport is being affected by computer problems. A ground stop was issued this morning for American Airlines flights at Philadelphia's airport because of a computer network issue. Officials are looking into the cause. And new fallout from the scandal at Wells Fargo. 4 more executives at the bank have been fired after being linked to a sales program that opened millions of accounts without customers' permission. And a new role for Magic Johnson. The Lakers have put Magic in charge of basketball operation, and he has wasted no time, already making his first trade. Also this morning in sports, a major change in Major League Baseball. They're hoping to speed up the game. ESPN reporting that the league is now going to allow managers to signal an intentional walk from the dugout, eliminating the need for 4 pitches. Apparently that saves an average of 14 seconds per game. Perfect for millennials.
It's all about what are we going to do with that 14 seconds?
Look at your phone, I guess.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Amy. And before we go to you, Ginger, let's take a look at this incredible video of the snowboarder being rescued in California. He was buried for nearly 10 minutes. Wow. He landed headfirst in a pile of snow. And you know, this is a good thing. Ski with a buddy and carry a small shovel. His friends dug him out. He was down there for 10 minutes, folded up like in half. Just some incredible video. And Ginger, they say the snow, it's coming in the Midwest, right?
Yes, it is coming to the Midwest. So that low that we're tracking across, look at this. In Colorado, it goes Thursday through Saturday. We put the snow totals expected here, one of the computer models at least. And there are areas near Minneapolis, St. Paul that could see locally up to a foot of snow. This is an area that has not seen this season. So this could be the biggest snowstorm for parts of the Northern Plains and Great Lakes. It goes right into Wisconsin as well. This is after, of course, having all these 60-degree temperatures. So we are going back to winter. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the warm cities, brought to you by CarMax.
That was invigorating. You're probably wondering why I just carved a giant wooden tiger. Well, the answer is that a real one would maul me. I've crafted Dr. Whiskers here as a visual aid to show you that should you visit the lot, CarMax associates will not pounce like tigers because people don't like that. Come here to buy a car, Dr. Whiskers won't pounce. Nobody will.
And a very good morning, meteorologist Brian Vandegraff. Fair amount of cloud cover around today, but upper 60s. You know, yesterday we got to 58, still almost 9 degrees above the average, which is 49 this time of year. So 67, not too bad out there today. Mostly cloudy, a little spotty sprinkle of drizzle, nothing too widespread, and definitely a lot of clouds. Clouds tonight, 40 to 48. Tomorrow, we'll break into a little bit of sunshine, isolated shower. Look at that, low 70s tomorrow. I think we'll stay in the 70s through Friday as well. Next chance of a colder pattern, not until Sunday.
Coming up, we have that new video of Harrison Ford's dangerous close call. The actor just feet from hitting a commercial jet. The investigation where that stands this morning, and you're going to hear his voice as well.
And our Oscars exclusive one-on-one with Jimmy Kimmel. We're going to talk about how he's getting ready for